All right, I was doing a little drive and I was thinking about something that happened in my early childhood, because sometimes I'll be driving, I'll be by myself and I'll be thinking about something. And I almost forgot about this, but basically, this was a long time ago. I was in the third grade, actually. And so what ended up happening, I pretty much, I got in trouble for no reason, but basically, I walked to the bathroom. We had a substitute teacher that day. We were like sitting on the floor. She was like reading some book. I don't know what the book was, but we had a substitute teacher that day, all sitting on the carpet. I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, and as I was, walking out of the bathroom, I opened the door at the same time this kid was coming in. He was just like obese. He was the only obese kid in the grade, or one of the only ones. And he was always like, starting shit and whatever. And, we opened the door at the same time and he screamed like super loud. And, cause I was just like right there, it happens, if you're fucking like opening the door at the same time, that'll happen. Who knows? Maybe he was scared of my subhumanity, fucking, I don't know. But yeah, so he screamed. I went back to my classroom and, same thing, just sat back down on the carpet. And all of a sudden the teacher from the other room, cause like the way the rooms were set, like the doors were like right in front of each other. It was like this little corner and then the doors were just right in front of each other. Like each classroom was like, like that, like the doors were, I don't know, maybe like a couple feet apart from each other, like the front doors, like the front of them. And, she comes in, like I remember she started screaming so loud. She's like, "You scared," the kid, I still remember his name and everything, but she's like, "Why did you scare?" She kept like asking me why I did it. And it was, I didn't do it on purpose, guys. I did not do anything on purpose. I just literally opened the door at the same time and the kid fucking screamed. Like, "Why did you scare him?" And, I was like screaming and crying and like hyperventilating and shit. Cause I remember, I remember I was just like crying really bad and just yelling, I didn't do anything. And, eventually, so like, as all the kids are reading on the, sitting on the floor, reading that shit, I thought I did something wrong. I was like, so like, cause this woman just didn't fucking understand. I don't remember like who like her name or anything, but the substitute teacher, was like this, like she's probably like around my age, maybe now, like back then, probably like 20s. And she made me sit like in the table, like, at like my desk, basically. So I'm just like sitting there, right? Like I'm just sitting there and, all the kids are like looking at me and shit. And she made me put my head down, like, and every time I would look up, she would just scream. She'd be like, head down, like a fucking dog. Like, and I did it so many times, like just try to like look up, pick my head up. And she kept yelling, head down. And yeah, that sucked. I don't know. I was just randomly thinking about it, just like a random thought that just, popped in my head. And, my whole school experience in general, like elementary school especially, I was like very impulsive as a kid. Most of the boys were, Notice how this as well, right? Like, because most of the teachers, even that year, guys, like, or like the kindergarten to second grade, I had to have like this good or bad chart bullshit because I was always like, I don't know, like very hyper and shit and doing stuff, and like they had to write if I was like good or bad for that day. I don't know why. That was just like a thing for some reason. And third grade rolled around. We had this Stacy teacher. It's so funny because she wasn't there that day, and I guess I don't know that happened. But, she basically didn't do that year. And I think, the whole funny thing too, which I want to say, so like, she didn't have that. I did good that year because I always struggled in school, always. And, and this woman, she was a basketball player. She was like 6 foot something. I'm not even joking either, guys. Like she was fucking that tall, like top 1%. Like she went to like some college for like basketball or some shit. Like she played like women's basketball. And yeah, she was just like, I remember she was like this like beautiful young woman, and I behaved. I always fucking behaved. I never started shit. I never did shit. That was the only year in my elementary school year where everything was fine. You know, this woman was nice. And who knows? I mean, you know, there's studies done, like, you know, having attractive teachers and unattractive teachers. Because the whole irony about this shit, guys, right? Like that whole year, third grade year, I was fine. And then fourth grade year, I had like this absolute, like this woman, you know, she, like my mom always thought she looked like a witch because, you know, she had like fucking like boilers and shit. Like, I don't even know what those are called. Not like skin tags, but like moles and shit on her face. You know, she had black curly hair. She's like really, really old. And I don't know, I just remember her being like a piece of shit. Like she was just like so annoying, and like I would always like be doing shit, I guess. Like I just went back to yelling and, you know, whatever. Cause you know, I'm a kid, right? And the whole funny thing too, like, I mean, I know there's like a big push on like, you know, young boys for like, you know, ADHD, you know, you can't sit still, all that type of shit, right? You know, because I mean, that woman, I remember that year, that woman was like, yeah, your son needs to be tested for fucking autism and fucking ADHD like ASAP, you know. But my fucking third grade teacher was like, oh, he's an angel, he's a good boy, he's fine, You know, I listened to her and I did everything I was supposed to. It's crazy how that works. I don't know. I just remember behaving myself. I was good, you know. And yeah, I don't know. Then fourth grade, yeah, rolls around, fucking had this old nasty woman, and you know, she's calling my parents all the time saying like, oh, he needs to get tested for ADHD now. Get him tested. And my parents were like, well, what the fuck? You know, last year he was fine. You know, he had a, you know, I had the Stacy teacher. I that was the best I ever did in school. My behavior was fucking awesome. I did great. And my parents were like, what the fuck happened? Like, I don't get it. You know, I don't understand, you know? But, you know, let me explain something. So, you know, yeah, as I, you know, I've said, like, you know, there's this big push for ADHD now, but for boys though, you know, I say like very rarely, you know, for girls ever growing up, you'd ever get like tested for that. Because like, you know, from a biological perspective, right, you know, men are supposed to lead and women are supposed to follow, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it's not, you know, it's in male nature to be very, you know, competitive, very, you know, just like go-getting, you know. And women, it's not really, you know, it's because you remember like the girls in school, they would just kind of sit there, you know, and just listen to the teacher, wouldn't really cause any problems. But the boys, you know, would always be doing some fucking stupid shit. It's just how nature works. And like, I just don't understand like why people can't like really understand and see this, you know. I just don't get it. And they want to, you know, just like met up the boys, you know, with the Ritalin and the ADHD, you know, just to like calm them down, you know. I don't think it's necessarily like this big thing that everybody makes it seem to be. And, you know, I've taken Adderall before, you know, I've taken ADHD meds, and it just, I don't know, it just gets you fucking wired. Like it just, and people abuse the fuck out of it. Like people abuse the shit out of Adderall, cause it's amphetamines basically, you know, and you're just, and like anybody who takes it is like, even if you have ADHD or not, if you take it, you're going to be like, yeah, this is some good shit. You know, regardless if you have it or not, and you could probably get hooked. Like I would get hooked, like 100%. If I had like a prescription, I would get hooked. I would get hooked on any medication, honestly. Any medication that I would ever be given, I'd get hooked on it for sure. Like without a doubt. You know, that's like kind of, you know, a worry I've had, and I kind of know this. Like, yeah, I would just definitely get hooked on it. And I don't know. I really don't buy into ADHD as much, because I mean, listen, when you're sitting in a fucking boring classroom learning about math, you it's no secret you can't sit still, because that shit's fucking boring, man. That shit is so boring. But, you know, if I'm like playing a game or doing something fun, I mean, you don't really have a reason to like be all jittery and shit, you know? And yeah, it's in you know, men's nature to just act like that. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with you. But either way, yeah, you know, there were lots of times where, you know, I would get blamed for stuff. Didn't matter if I did it or not, because like I said, I definitely was like an impulsive kid. I was always trying to, you know, do shit, like just, I don't know, jump on stuff, like yell. I don't know, because you know, even growing up, like I didn't have many friends, and I thought that, like, you know, doing that jester bullshit would, like, you know, attract people to me, which it did, but in an unhealthy way. Because look at me now, you know, I'm still doing the same bullshit, jester tactics, and people don't respect me, you know, they, like, in real life think I'm some, like, fucking clown, like, just to hang out with, just for laughs, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know, my school experience, like, overall, so like what I want to talk about too, I mean, if you didn't know, like, I almost didn't graduate high school, you know. I didn't learn how to read or write until I actually got to college, my first year of college. I didn't learn how to read and write, which you're probably thinking, like, how the fuck is that even possible? Like, you're probably thinking I'm lying, but I'm not. I genuinely did not learn how to write properly and fucking read properly. The reading was always okay, like, better than the writing. Like, the writing was fucking horrific. Like, aside from handwriting, I just, you know, I didn't know how to write properly. You know, punctuation, spelling. My spelling's still dog shit. Because they never taught me these things in school. Like, because, I mean, was it fucking, I think Bill Clinton, the No Child Left Behind Act. Like, you could just literally just, I don't know, piss all over the floor and shit on your paper and they'll pass you. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, that's what I used to tell people, like, all the time in, you know, middle school. Like, hey, you know, you can, like, theoretically, you can literally just fucking fail everything. And there's this one kid, I mean, I remember this kid, he never did shit. He always had like 15-20% in the class, you know, like, that's, you know, failing, and they pass you regardless. I think high school's a little different, but, you know, I still pass with the bare minimum just because I'm a fucking idiot, despite, like, you know, studying harder than the average person. But what was I gonna say? Fuck, what was I gonna say again? Oh yeah, with the whole, you know, not graduating high school. So, you know, in America, there's pretty much, for like every place, they do, I don't know if they do it anymore, but what they did was standardized tests, you know, standardized testing to see, like, how fucking brain dead you are. I actually don't even know why, but you know, every year you had to take them. And, you know, I tried my best. You know, once a year you'd sit in a room, you'd fucking take the math and the math and the English. And every year, like, think about how brutal this is, right? From 5th grade until, the 12th senior year, I never passed a single one. I failed every single one of them. And I didn't know this. I did not know that you had to pass a single one. You know, just like one of them out of any year. If you passed them, it was a requirement, you would be good. I didn't know this until my senior year rolled around. In the beginning, they told me, they're like, hey, you know, you're not going to fucking graduate, you piece of shit. You have to go to, it was like this one class, and it was so brutal too, because there's only like 5 kids in that class that the same thing, and none of them could speak English. There's these 2 Arabic kids. They would always like speak in, you know, Arabic or whatever, Arabic. And there's these 2 Spanish kids, and then there's just me sitting there, you know, and the whole time it's just, they didn't do anything. They're like, oh, we're gonna, you know, portfolio all your work and send it to the state and you'll be good. And, you know, so I didn't have anything to worry about. I would like skip that class all the time. The school system's a fucking bullshit joke anyway. Like, it actually really is. Like, even my elementary school guys, same thing with English. They put me in this class called ESL. I don't know what that stands for, but I remember I had to go there. 1st and 2nd grade, I had to go there, and it was all Hispanic kids except for me. And I thought I was like so fucking smart. Like, this woman would hold up like this, what is it? Fuck, I can't even remember what the hell it's called. Like, I don't know, flashcards, and it would have like a picture of something and like the word underneath it. Like, for example, like fucking beach ball, and it would say beach ball, and she'd be like, oh, can anyone tell me what this says? Thought I was like so fucking smart. But meanwhile, like, you know, all the fucking kids are back in the normal class, you know, they're learning like normal shit. You know, they're learning like they're learning how to read, they're learning how to do all this fucking bullshit, right? You know, how to write properly, how to use punctuation. That was always like my biggest issue. I never learned how to punctuate or like write properly, spell properly, you know? And yeah, so for like, I don't know, kindergarten, or not kindergarten, like first grade, second grade, you know, the brain dead teachers, they put me in this class, and I thought I was like so smart, you know, yeah, I'm so smart, so cool. Then when I got to third grade, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. You know, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And yeah, that Stacy teacher, Stacy helped me. You know, she really did that year. And of course, fourth grade, like, oh, your son's fucking, his writing is shit. You know, what the fuck? He's got like, he's far behind. He's autistic. He's a piece of shit. I always felt horrible about myself all the time, guys, all the fucking time. You know, I was always so confused why everyone else had it like so much different. Like, you know, like why I had to like split off and go to these special classes. I always was like, you know, what's wrong with me and shit. You know, I'm like, what the fuck? Like why do I have to split off and go to this random class for, you know? And this happened like almost every year, you know. Fifth grade, when fifth grade came along, I had to do the same thing. They're like, yeah, your writing's fucking dog shit. Go to this class. You know, it was like same thing, you know, Spanish kids who couldn't speak any English. And I don't know. It's just, that's what I had to do for a while. And of course, like I said, my writing and you know, reading and bullshit was terrible. I would usually, like, the grades that I would get in English were just D's. I always passed with a D, like a 60% like minimum. And I mean, nowadays they have like what, AI and shit. I should have just you know, like the internet, iPhones, I mean, they were really popular, but not, I mean, technology, not even close to now. Like, just not even fucking close. You know, I barely used the internet at all to like help me. You know, we had like the fucking the Snopes, like or not Snopes, I forgot what the fuck it's called, something like that, where you just like get book summaries and bullshit, and I would like copy it. And yeah, I would always pass with a D, like just the bare minimum, you know, bare fucking minimum. And then, you know, for college, they had me take some fucking bullshit, same thing, like standardized test to see like how brain dead I am if I have to take like extra courses. So, you know, same thing, fell behind, failed the shit. They put me in like the dummy class, and the professor, you know, was this woman who actually did help me. That was the year I actually learned how to write properly. And I remember I told her, I'm like, you know, thank you for everything. Now, you know, you taught me how to write. You know, I told her, like, my whole life, fucking everyone around me is a fucking idiot, doesn't want to show me shit, and you helped me, you know? So, I mean, yeah, that was nice, but, yeah, you know, my whole school experience, like, in general, I mean, yeah, the earlier years, like I was saying in the beginning, I was fucking impulsive, I would get in trouble sometimes. It didn't matter if I was doing shit or not, I just, you know, would get blamed for anything regardless, you know? Kind of poisoned the well with that one. That kind of sucks, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Just the teachers, they just wanted me on, you know, the ADHD shit, you know, because I guess I was that bad, you know, like impulsive wise. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I can't go back. I mean, if I could go back, I don't know, I guess I'd get a new brain, a new IQ. like seriously, I don't know, like, can you just imagine if I was like slightly more intelligent, right? Like just more intelligent, and I would have just been good. Because I mean, guys, I've seen it, like, school is like pretty fucking brutal. You get to get a taste of like genetic determinism in there. When you see fucking kids who are just fucking slacking off doing whatever the fuck they want, but they're so intelligent that they just know everything by looking at it. They just fucking ace I've seen you, and I know you guys have seen it too, right? You have to have. They don't give a fuck. They're not paying attention to shit, and they're passing everything with flying colors, honor roll type shit, and they're just like, they don't even study, they don't even do anything because they got good genetics, they're fucking smart, like their parents were smart. And then you get kids like me, you know, like your parents are like fucking average IQ, your dad, I don't even know, my dad's brain is kind of fucking shot, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's like years of like alcohol abuse or what. My mom claims he used to be smart when he was younger, but I don't even know. I just know him now, you know, and his brain, the shit that comes out of his mouth is just, it is fucking hilarious though. But, you know, people like me, you know, you're studying, you're absolute, just your boner the fuck off. Your boner is getting studied off. You're just studying that shit off day in and day out. And you're just watching people who are just slacking off and fucking off, you know, just passing everything. It pisses you off. It does. You know, I had to stay after school a lot, you know, waste my time to, you know, to get extra help like after school, which was fucking bullshit. And I always, you know, I used to like get this cope speech from a friend like, oh, bro, you know, you just don't fucking apply yourself, bro. Like you gotta, I mean, I don't know how true that is because I did study my balls off. I did try really hard until my senior year. Like in my high school, I kind of just gave up and just went with the flow. Still passed, you know, with like below, like slightly below, not failing, but below average shit. But you know, I don't know. People would tell me like, oh, you just need to apply yourself, try harder, apply yourself. Like, what the fuck does that mean? What, study for like 2 more hours and I'm already studying? And trust me, guys, like there'd be days where I'd be like, you know, up late at night, like trying to remember shit, study shit, where it's like, you just look defeated. Like, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? You know, you're just like sitting there like a zombie, like there's just fucking drool hanging out your mouth. Meanwhile, you know, Mr. Chattington with a fucking 140 IQ, he's out partying with, you know, Stacy and his friends. He's gonna ace the test tomorrow without a fucking drop of studying. That's just how life is, man. It's fucking bullshit. It really is, you know. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just, you know, my school experience sucked. I just had to try twice as hard just to be below average, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's just how it was. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for now.